I could actually puke thinking about it. The 60-year-old man with the 27-year-old. Maybe that's a cancelable take.
And she was like looking for quote unquote a man. I was like, girl, you didn't find one because he's not one.
Let's take it there. Let's take it there. You know what? Episode 2, exclusive content.
Hi, my name is Aurora.
Hi, I'm Miguel.
And this is Age Gap, a podcast about two best friends, 10 years apart.
Welcome back. Look at that, y'all. We're consistent. Did you miss me from last week? That's 2 for 2.
Wait, is it technically 3, because we did have an intro.
That's true.
We made you guys watch that. Sorry.
3 for 3. We're up. Always up, never down. It's release day. I feel like can we break the fourth wall? Today we birthed Age Gap. Today we presented our child to the world, and that's why you're here, because you subscribed last week.
You sure did subscribe. And if you didn't subscribe right now, you're subscribing right now. You're pausing the video.
Now's the time.
And now you're subscribed.
We're not wasting any time. I need to know. Have you watched Age of Attraction?
Yes, I have. That's a Netflix show, right? The age of
yes.
They don't know each other's ages. Oh my. Yes, I did start watching it. First of all, I was very excited. I saw our podcast name on there. You know, it's in the corner of the screen every time they reveal their names. You know, when they're like age gap, 33 years.
It's actually getting a little treacherous. And I don't usually watch reality TV. I feel like I only really watch reality TV with you. Whenever we like binge watch shows for no reason. But I Love Is Blind Ho. But this one got me. And I think I was only interested in watching it because I knew that I was going to be grossed out.
Here's the thing. It's some of the people that they have on the show, okay? Because some of them are just skeevy. Like some of them like, okay, whatever.
Yes.
They're just like whatever. But then there's that kid who was like, I was 13 and I was like watching babes in cars. And they were all like 60, 50 years old. Like I want to, and I'm like, who hurt you? Who hurt you?
Yeah, the Twinkie one. That's a Twinkie one. That's a Twinkie one. He looks like a Ken doll. He looks like a little Ken doll in the worst ways.
Creepy. He's just creepy on his own. Like that's just his own. It has nothing to do with his age gap. Truly, I just believe that is a creepy man.
Okay, we need to like get straight into it. My roommate and I started watching it. The whole time. I don't even know where to start. Like, where do we want to start?
So I don't want to spoil too much because I do want people to watch this because I need to know how y'all feel about this show because I watched it with my mom. That is someone I watch reality TV with. Like, she gets to pick the show every time I go over her house. So she was like Age of Attraction. So what we did is we made it a game. We were guessing these people's ages. We were guessing, and then when they would reveal them, we would like lock in our answers. We'd be like, lock it in. Lock it in.
Yeah.
And the amount of times that we were wrong, and then
you were wrong.
We were flabbergasted by some of these. The one that we got, that young girl, the 22-year-old, the trifling. What is it? 22 and how? I don't even know. Oh my god, no, that's not even the worst one.
Wait.
The worst one was the 27 to 60, right?
Yes, that's the worst one. That's the worst one. Wait. Pause. Back. How? What do you mean you were wrong? For a lot of these, I was like dead right. And not to like flex, but genuinely, I was like, maybe your radar is off. Because me personally, I was like, yeah, no. I was off by maybe a year or two.
I was like giving people the benefit of the doubt. Or maybe I was giving the show the benefit of the doubt.
That was your first mistake.
They're like trying to like trick us or something like that. I don't know. Like when it was the 27-year-old, I thought she was older.
Really? I thought she was younger.
Oh, see, that's wild. Oh, the perception.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So there were some that we got like close. The only one I nailed was the 22-year-old. Because she just like gave...
Yeah, the 22... Yeah.
This is my first year drinking. Like, legally.
And like, spoiler alert, I'm going to spoil a lot of it. I'm not going to be quiet about it. We need to talk about it. And then go watch it just so you can also be icked out. But no, the 22-year-old... and the 23-year-old, immediately I was like, you look like you just graduated college. You talk like you just graduated college. And I would know that because I just graduated college. I was like, you are somebody that would either be in my friend group or like be friends with one of my friends. So I was immediately like, don't go with that creepy old man.
No. Yeah, the 22-year-old, I forget all their names because I'm just like, I'm going by your age. That's the whole point. But
Yeah, yeah.
her being like, "Yeah, it's a plus you have children." Like that girly was about to become a mother. Like the audience really expects this girly who can't even commit to being having a serious conversation is about to commit to being a stepmom. Please.
Yeah, that got me. Oh, you're talking about the one that. Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah. You're talking
blonde
about. I think
one.
her name is Libby. Libby, Libby, Libby,
Libby,
Libby,
yeah,
Libby.
she's a cutie
Which
patootie.
is a crazy
Cutie,
name.
cutie patootie.
Crazy. No. Okay, that's not her fault. That's not her name. Is her name.
Yeah.
No, what I thought was crazy. Actually, you know what? Her man in that show, he's what 30. I think he was 38,
38, which is like
and he has two kids. Yes, a 12-year
14.
old and like a 14-year old. Yeah, when she was like, "Oh, I'm only 8 years older than your daughter," and she kept talking about Taylor Swift. I was like, it's giving babysitter. Another thing that really irritated me about that man was that he kept talking like this, like a frog. He kept having, yeah, like you're just so mature for your age.
Oh,
Irritated me. Irritated.
predator
Immediately
language.
irritated.
Predator language. I paused the show when he said that, and I was like, when anyone ever says like you act older or you speak older or all that, that is a red flag.
That is no, girl. You want to talk about red flag? You know what? There's so many red flags in this show. Obviously, we have to talk about the 60-year-old man with the 27-year-old. Hey, I'm gonna puke. I'm gonna puke. I am gonna puke.
The age gap number is bigger than her age.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
The age gap number is bigger than her age. That's
Yeah,
that's all I have to say.
that got me.
And I'm like,
No, that's
ugh.
not all I have to say. I have a lot to say about that. It really, first of all, it really stressed me out when she said, because obviously we could tell that he was older, and I will give it to him. He's the one that if you had told me he was late 40s, 50s, mid 50s, I would have been like, okay, still completely inappropriate. But I was like, okay, you do look good for 60. Okay, Grandpa. We kept calling him microbangs
I am
because
screaming.
it, it
Not
looked.
talking about
Put a
his
picture up.
cut.
If you're a creep, I'm gonna talk about you. I don't care.
No, he's a
There, I
creep.
said
He
it.
is a creep. The way he couldn't help, like he was like trying to stop a smile when he found out, like you know how like they filmed them after.
Yes,
He was
yes, yes,
trying to
yes.
hide his creepy like gross smile while he's talking about that she's 27. Like he got so
That
excited
part.
about her being 27 because I
That
think he
part.
thought she was older. And when he heard that and that she was being celibate and like just all these like signs for him to be like, I
Weird.
can take advantage of this
Weird.
girl. And she was like looking for
Weird.
quote unquote a man. I was like, girl, you didn't find one because he's not one.
You know what got me? And I could actually puke thinking about it. Because okay, if you haven't watched the show, quick recap because we're talking a lot of shit. Couples, they date around they date amongst each other.
First of all, it's in a campsite. Take me out because I'm not going camping and date it.
We're old people. Oh. Right.
I'm old people, by the way.
Hey, you're not 60, so you're up. The premise is contestants, they mingle around for what, like a couple of days, and then they take each other to a promise room. In this promise room, they decide, hey, we're going to move on to phase 2 of the social experiment, and that's when they find out how old the other person is. Mind you, looking at these contestants, you can tell there's some grown folks, and then there's some people who just graduated college and are like, I'm about to be TikTok famous. I'm literally the next Kylie Jenner. So, the scene in the promise room with the old guy and the 27-year-old, when he reveals his age, and obviously she's shocked, but then she goes, I feel like this is the universe. Like, I feel like you are just what I was looking for. Like, yeah, that age gap, that doesn't mean nothing to me, baby. Like, it's you and me. I said, girl, what kind of problems in there?
What have you been through? Because that was
Oh,
me. Like that was the first thing that came to my
oh.
mind. I was like, what have you been through that you thought that A, you were falling in love with this man because she almost says I love you on camera. And
No, she did say it.
yeah,
She said it like 3
I
times.
I like how in the world And I'm really not trying to judge. I'm really, because I like don't like to judge. I
I
don't
am.
know, but I but
I
I
do.
will judge an age gap that large. I'm sorry. I will judge an age gap that large, and I will judge how creepy he was, and I
Yeah.
will judge how, like, in her Delulu land that she was. And then I was like, I was talking to a friend about it, and she was like, "Well, I think she's like looking maybe for a sugar daddy or something like that. So maybe like she's playing it off in a
No.
different way."
No, I didn't get that vibe. See, and that's what me and my roommate were talking about. Cause the first thing that came to my mind was where's she from? And follow me. I asked where is she from? And then I had to Google it. No, I didn't Google it. No, I did Google it. How did they say it? I don't know. Anyways, I needed to know where she was from. And the answer is Texas. I was like, that's all I need to know. I was like, that is all I need to know because you're looking for a man. And that is Texas core. Texas straight people core is I'm going to get a man and he's got to be a leader. When she said, oh, I need a leader, because she was in the love triangle. It was either this old guy, grandpa, microbangs, or the other one.
But he was, yeah, he was like more of like a soft boy. He was very like, oh, I want a family, like blah blah blah. Probably perfect for her, but of course she went for the man.
I don't even remember the other guy. I think I was too shook by grandpa. But anyhow, I was like, when she kept talking about, oh, I want a leader, I want a this, I need a man, like a real man. I was like, yeah, you're gonna go with grandpa, because that's, mm-hmm. It was giving conservative Southern woman. I want to be in my feminine. I need somebody who's in his divine masculine. Girl, it's all propaganda. He's a creep.
Oh, all of it's propaganda. And I knew it when they were sitting on those benches outside, because that's when she was talking about that. She was like, yeah, I need this. And he was like, yeah, I'm a leader, blah, blah, blah. And you could see like it turning in his head about like, I'm going to control her finances. I'm going to control her body. She's going to do exactly what I say. And when he heard 27, he said, this is going to be a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. That's, ooh, you
Yeah.
could just see it
The
on,
look in his eyes.
yes, you could just see it. It was there. It's like,
Yeah,
the
the look in his eyes gave prey.
mhm, mhm.
It gave. I'm gonna get me some of that.
That
Ugh!
okay, that was,
Yeah,
we need
that was
to
bad. That one was really bad.
thanks for coming. I hope we close the gap because I can't move on after that. See you
Hey,
next week.
that's it. Hey,
No, no,
no, that one was
absolutely.
bad.
Absolutely. And I was rooting for the other
Wait,
guy, but I don't know. Maybe it's just viewing this at all. Maybe I have like an opinion before I watch it. Like I'm already in like a stigma because every guy that spoke creeped me out.
hey, so every single guy was terrible.
So weird because I felt like even the younger guy preying on an older woman sounded pretty terrible too. And then I was like, okay, and you want to know why? Because there was
I'm
an
following.
older woman going after a really, really young guy. And she
Yes,
stopped it in the tracks. Like, no, she stopped it right
yes,
away.
yes,
She was
yes,
like,
yes, yes.
I feel uncomfortable. I didn't like the way I was acting last night. There was booze involved, and then
Hmm.
cut it off literally the next day.
We need to talk about the couple where the lady, I keep calling her Heather, but I think her name is Teresa. She's with the 27-year-old guy. You know what? I have a confession to make. I was low-key rooting for it. I had to sit back and think, why am I so okay with this dynamic, but in the inverse, it's a problem? And here's what I got to. Teresa seemed to be very aware of what was going on, and when she found out his age, which was what, half her age, she seemed reluctant, but also seemed to talk about their relationship as like a, hey, this is what it is, we're gonna try it out and see what happens. She didn't give like, ooh, I'm about to do damage to this little boy, which is what the man gave. Do I find it appropriate? I'm still a little weirded out. But even the dude didn't seem as delulu as old girl over there with grandpa.
And I know why you were rooting for them because I like Teresa. I like Teresa.
Ah, I love Teresa.
Yeah, I
I
like
love my
Teresa.
girl.
Her little bows in her hair, she's cute. And I like, what was the other girl's name? The one with the 60-year-old.
Old girl. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
really
know her
liked her
name.
too, but I liked her with the other guy.
I didn't like her at all.
And I liked Teresa and I was following Teresa. I actually didn't like her guy that much. But again, I walked in here and I'm like, they're all creepy. But when I heard the difference of age, I was actually surprised because I thought she was older.
It's because it's white people.
Oh, she has a son older than him. That's
She
what
has,
bothered
yeah,
me.
I think she has 3 kids and one of them is older.
That's what bothered
Yeah.
me. I was like, "That is no." That's what exactly what I was screaming. I was like, "Say no. Your son is older than your man's? That's inappropriate. That's
Yeah.
weird." And despite me, like, liking Teresa as a character in this show, I cannot possibly, like, be okay with either one.
With the dynamic, yeah.
I understand where you're coming from because she did come off more mature. She was more like, "I'm not gonna hide my heart when I feel something," as
Right.
opposed to, "This is my new
Right.
husband." You know what I mean? So I yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I
And
feel you.
I think that's what it was, is that in that dynamic, it seemed like they were both just gonna try something new, see what happens. Whereas grandpa and the other girl, this was like, I'm gonna take you home to mom and dad and we're gonna get married and I'm gonna give you kids because I'm looking for a serious relationship. Which men lie. The men liars, especially old grandpa, but the energy in the room was different. I did respect the other lady who had that little twink after her for being like, hey, he's doing too much. He's like sexualizing this whole thing way too much. He was cute for a moment. This is not for me. It seemed like in that dynamic specifically, though, it was more of like the producers trying to make it a thing. Because anytime she was on camera with him, she didn't seem very interested.
No, she was very, like she was being sarcastic and, like, really, like, "You're, like, weird and this is odd." She definitely gave that energy, so that was probably forced. Because come on, any person falling for anything that dude was saying, that's like, come on.
I was thinking about it because that dude seemed about my age, and I personally have never had a MILF thing. Like, I cannot tell you that I've seen a MILF. I don't even like the concept of a MILF, but I've never looked at a 50-year-old woman, 40-year-old woman, even late 30s, and been like,
So for me, I think the concept of an age gap relationship, and now when I'm talking, we're strictly talking about consenting adults. Two consenting adults, that's what I'm going to consider right now in this conversation an age gap relationship. So when we're thinking about like an age gap relationship at all, if it is towards a serious thing, like you're thinking wedding, you're thinking children, I don't think it's very appropriate at all. When we're talking about like having fun or maybe more on like a physical side where it's just, you're attracted to this person and it's like maybe a one night stand, I think an age gap can be okay because it's not damaging. Again, if you're two consenting adults. What's damaging is having a long term relationship with someone who is just either just not in the same place as you, and even if they are, because that was one of their arguments, like, "Oh, this person makes money and they had children early and they're in the same," and I'm like, "That's still not the same world." You know what I mean? Like you grow a lot from 20 to 30 and 30 to 40. But to your point, when you're like, "I've never been attracted to someone older than me," that's interesting because I feel like maybe your generation is a little more afraid of growing or being older or looking older because of like the whole social media thing. Because to me, I can look at like a 60-year-old or 50-year-old person and be like, oh, they're attractive.
like, I can recognize that somebody older is attractive, like, hello, Olivia Benson, but there's never been a desire to be with someone older. And I think genuinely for me is I grew up with a lot of aunts, I grew up with a lot of older cousins, I grew up with a lot of older women. If you could be friends with my aunt and you are hitting on me, I'm scared. Jail immediately. And even on the younger side, because I was talking to someone about this. I cap it at like 5 years older than me. That's my max. But seeing somebody older in my mind, like my oldest sister is 30 something. If one of her friends hit on me, I'd be scared. I'd be flattered. Maybe I'd be like, haha, in the moment. But genuinely, if they wanted to pursue me, I'd be like, what business do you and I have together? And that was my problem with the other couple, which was like a 23-year-old and a 30 something year old, where he kept saying, oh, it's just that you've lived all these experiences and like it, you know, we're matching because lifestyles are similar. Hey, you're crazy. But to me, it gives, I think it would just give predatory. And I would clock it that way. I don't think it has a lot to do with like, or maybe it is a generational thing. I do know people my age who do like to date older people. I'm not sure if it's an aging thing. I personally can't wait to be older. I think my peak is going to be my 30s, but that's neither here nor there.
But then you also have like my side of it in my generation, they normalized it too much. Like that is something that was normalized across like anime, TV shows. We saw it in Friends. You know what I mean? Like Monica had a relationship with someone older and
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't remember
Ew.
how it ended, but I think it was because it was just
It was,
the
yeah, they wanted.
lifestyle was too
My girl
crazy,
Monica.
too different. But again, again, it is about the serious relationship thing for me personally because I have, you know, I've done the deed with someone older. And I think the oldest, they were 20 years older than me. And I was on vacation in Korea and they were like a professor. And I couldn't tell. Like, I met them the night before at a bar. We just spoke, whatever, hung out, exchanged numbers. And then later in the conversation, they were like, "Oh, I'm this old." And I was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm this old." And obviously he didn't care. Obviously that's not going to rattle him at all. Um, which maybe should have rattled me, but that's it is what it is. And he was very nice though, super respectful. We had a good time. I was into it. And yeah, after that, that was that because I was very like, obviously I'm in another country. And then obviously he was just looking for fun. And so was I. So had he been like, let's date, I would have been like, full stop. Don't you teach people my age?
Right. Yeah, it's just, it's always on the older person's part. I feel like there's a sense of responsibility that you have to have as an older person in any type of dynamic, but especially in a romantic one. Like I guess sexually is a whole other thing. If you want to hook up with somebody who's older than you, like sure, do what you do. I'm not judging. I don't think that's fine. But mm-mm.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
Romantically, it's
hard.
just a lot.
I think it's also the age too, like, because I'm thinking the story I just told, I was 25. So I'm thinking like if I was 21 or 22 or God forbid
Mm,
like 18, that's not something I don't that's worse. That feels bad. That feels bad. I think there is an age where, you are at a place that you can make a decision like that. I feel like 25, you've lived at least a little bit.
once you're past 30, like if you're 30 and you're with a 40-year-old, okay. 40 with a 50-year-old, okay. But even then, a 30 with a 60-year-old, hey, that's crazy. Again, oh my god, going back to the show, there was one scene where Grandpa looks at the girl. It's in the promise room, and he goes, "Oh, give me a kiss, baby." Hearing him call her baby genuinely made me want to die. Because I was like, if you have kids, I can imagine you saying that to like your daughter. Like your daughter walks in the room and like, "Oh, come give me a kiss, baby." Ah! And I was like, ew, 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 ew. If you're a 60-year-old and you want to be with a 27-year-old, you should be in jail.
What's the oldest or the youngest that you hooked up? Like what's the age gap?
Ooh, I don't like to think about that time in my life. That's a trigger warning. It is kind of vulnerable. It is kind of vulnerable. I will. You know what? Let's take it there. Let's take it there. You know what? Episode 2, exclusive content. I actually don't know how old he was, but he was definitely way older than me. And it's a he. Yes, my one and only one night stand. He was an older guy at a bar somewhere in the middle of Italy or Paris. It was Europe. I don't know. I needed to experience that. When it comes to sex with older people, I'm like, I get it. I think for me in that moment as a younger person, I was feeling very vulnerable as a human. It was post breakup, a lot of drama. But it was also like, I know that I can do this because you're already looking at me like prey. If he had been like 38 or if he had been 28, I don't think it would have made much of a difference considering the headspace that I was in. I didn't feel good about it after. And I think that made me realize that I was like, I don't think this whole old men thing is for me. For the younger person involved, I wonder if it's a desire to be perceived as a more mature person. And obviously we don't have to get into like the psychology of all of it because I did go to school for it, but I don't feel like I have the credentials to really speak on it without doing some prior research. But if you want to prove that to yourself or prove it to another person or prove it by being in older dynamics, Sure, whatever floats your boat. But I recently hung out with a couple, and I want to say maybe 25 and 32. I think it might be a personal thing because I just said that like that I cap it at 5 years, and they are a very functional couple and like a really cute couple that I really enjoy and love. So I guess it does come down to personal preference, but like I don't know. It's those big age gaps that really freak me out.
Okay, I think honestly, it is about how old you are as well. Because you're saying 25, 32. That's nothing to me. I'm like, okay, 25, 32. It's whatever. You can make that work. If it was 20 and like what, 27, that sounds
Yeah,
worse to
different
me.
story.
Yeah, it sounds way
Different
worse. So
story.
when you meet somebody, you know what I mean? It's all about,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, all about the timing, all about the age. I think that's what makes it weirder when you hear 22 with 38 or 40 or whatever, you know what I mean?
Was having an age gap in a romantic relationship normalized for you growing up? Because for me, it wasn't. So maybe that's why I'm so opposed to it.
It was completely normalized, so much so that, all right, I'm about to drop family tea right now. So my parents are divorced, right? And it's because my dad cheated and he was like 40 something and the girly pop that he cheated with was 20. So to me, when I heard that when I was younger, I didn't really question it. That wasn't the issue. The cheating was the issue, obviously. And now that like my mother and I have been able to like dissect what exactly actually happened, I feel bad for her now. And I'm like,
For
you
who? Your
know,
mom?
no, I've always felt bad for my mom, obviously.
Right. I
No,
was like,
no,
hey.
no, no, no.
Oh,
The
okay, 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 okay.
the the side
The
piece, the
girl.
side
Yeah, yeah,
chickie.
yeah.
Yeah, she was 20 years old.
She's a
And this
victim.
man, yeah, and I don't care like who says she pursued him, blah, 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 blah. Like it's so gross and it's so sad to hear because it makes me have to analyze, the whole relationship of what happened and how he hurt me and my mom, and it was all due to like chasing someone who was young. Even if she did initiate it, even if she did put herself out there, it's still on the older person in my opinion. So to me it was normalized because I just came to that realization literally like maybe 5 years ago. And I'm even thinking of like I mention anime a lot because it was really normalized in anime. And I don't want to talk too much about like young girls and like older people because that's just straight out wrong, illegal, cancel by. But like Sailor Moon,
I didn't know that.
yeah, she's 14, he's 18. So
Oh,
yeah, and I think they changed it when they came out with things or when they did translations, but the original one that we were all watching, anybody in my age group on like Toonami Adult Swim, that was the thing. Usagi tuxedo mask. And like even me being younger, I was like, "Oh yeah, I want to date an older person because I want their relationship." You know what I mean? And like and the dynamic is weird too because like he starts off kind of like teasing her, and that's a relationship for like a good amount of time. Ugh,
right,
ugh,
right, right,
ugh.
right. And that's what I was saying. The dude on the show who's like making fun of Miss Girl for liking Taylor Swift. Like, if you're already going into it and you're already being condescending and being like a weirdo, you're the problem. Because clearly this is a power trip. You're showing your true colors. Like, if you're making fun of the younger person in the dynamic, you have like this ego. You have the power trip. No matter how you put it, it's a power trip. And I don't like that. Boo boo, tomato, tomato, that's gross.
And I'm thinking like, yeah, he just wants like an object because it's not about her. It's not even about her interests. He thinks he can either morph her or that it doesn't actually matter what she's into. And that's why it's insignificant. It's not something that he can go into or even support because to him, that's the least of his concerns.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy in particular was talking about how this girl is his type. You know what I mean? He's like, that's
Oh,
the
that's
girl I
true.
always go for. And I'm like, okay, so you go
That's
for a
true.
cookie cutter. You're not looking for a person, you're looking for that image.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. A man that's going for a younger girl. Like, I did have a friend. He was 25, she was 20, and we would make fun of him because we were like, why you're calling her immature, but like, who's really the immature one if you're the one that went for her because you found similarity and you found somebody you could relate to and like, oh, she's fun and like she keeps me young. It's giving, oh, she keeps me young. And that's I think why I feel like it's a It's a power trip, maybe subconsciously, but it's like a power trip in the sense of, oh, I'm the more mature one, I'm the more dominant one. And I think with men specifically, it's like, oh, I can lead you. I have this opportunity to show that I'm a real man, and like that just makes me really uncomfortable. I don't know if that's worse or if it's like they play the soft guy role.
No, 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 yo, I see where you're coming from. It's like, what game are they gonna play, and how are they gonna succeed that way? Is there any genuine
Right.
like idea about what they're doing? And I think a lot of the times when anybody older goes after someone young, and they're like, they keep me young, like go to therapy. Like there's something internally going on that you feel like you need to stay young. Because okay, here the concept of being young really pisses me off. I play video games and I love anime and I love cartoons and stuff like that. Like that doesn't make me young. I know how old I am. I just enjoy these things and I keep in my place as an adult who does enjoy these things. Like I'm not, putting myself in a space that does have younger people who also enjoy those things. What bothers me is thinking that those things are just for young people. That's when the concept of, oh, he's keeping me young makes no sense. Like, it's just not okay. Like, grow the up, like, be your age, enjoy that. And yes, it's scary, but like, go for it. You living in the past and trying to date someone younger, thinking that that's going to keep you there, honey, the wrinkles are showing. We see you.
Oh, and she said what she said. You know what? You said it. You said it. We've normalized allowing older men to have a midlife crisis and go for someone younger. Because, like, what you're saying about your sperm donor going for somebody younger when he was in his 40s, I've seen that film before. Like, my ex dad, go choke, like, fully did the same thing, and it was worse because he got her pregnant. It was a whole thing. That's crazy lore.
Oh, I mean, sperm donor is still married.
Ugh. I remember a lot of people being like, oh, well, she's the younger one and she got in this marriage. And it's like, hey, she's a victim. And maybe it's because I grew up watching Law and Order and my mom was always very clear. And obviously, my mom was upset because, right? Over the course of time, also getting to that realization of like, hey, he's the problem.
Having a midlife crisis is not the issue. We have to normalize negative things just being human. Like, we're gonna have negative feelings and so on and so forth. Like, people are gonna get scared of getting older. Like, I saw my first wrinkle and I said,
Oh.
and I'm not the type of person that even really thinks about stuff like that because I'm like, age gracefully. You've seen my mother; she doesn't look her age.
Beautiful woman.
But I think it's how you deal with the midlife crisis and going after someone else's life. You don't fit there. Someone else could, and you're making it like, I don't know, it's almost like stealing a little bit of her life force
I
or
agree.
whoever it is. Because
Absolutely.
I think it's a problem for women too to go after like a younger guy and do exactly the same thing to put them in a situation where they feel like this is okay, especially with like men who are younger and they're thinking like, oh, I got an older woman. Like they're rewarded for that sometimes. You know what I mean? Even those who
That's
are
what it
traumatized,
is.
they're rewarded. And
That's
that's
what it
so
is.
sad, right?
That's
So
what it
sad.
is. Honestly, you're right. And we don't
Mm.
talk about that enough. We don't talk about older women being creepers enough. And I do say that carefully because I do think that there's generally a little bit of fear in like speaking about women and like talking down on women. But I'm sorry. If you're an old hag,
Me, I'm hag.
yes, you're the hag. Tag yourself. You're the hag. But it is a problem. It is a problem. Especially, I feel like I see it with a woman in her 20s will be cool with like a 17, 18-year-old. Which, hey, people always got to be consenting adults. But I have heard more stories that go that way. You know what I'm saying? Rather than like a 45-year-old with like a 20-year-old guy. Like, I don't see that as often as I will see like a 24-year-old with like an 18-year-old.
It's the age. You're saying 18. Yeah, I don't care. Legal my booty hole. Legal my booty hole. I really don't. 18 to 24. 24. Listen, yeah. I was in a situation like that when I was younger, as the younger
Oh?
person.
Oh,
And
okay.
the fact that I could not go to the bar, like the fact that someone was dating someone who could not be in the same spaces as them is problematic and weird,
Yes.
first of all.
Absolutely. If you cannot buy me a
Yeah.
drink, we cannot kiss. I'm sorry. You can't go to
Yeah.
the bar with me.
I
You
don't even
can't. We
drink,
can't.
and that's still a rule.
Right, right. Like if you
Like
cannot legally buy me a drink, if you can't even get into the club, or you got to pull out a fake ID, you got to pull out your sister's ID to get into this club. I'm sorry, we can't kiss. Hey, hey, I feel like I'm gonna go to jail.
So you were saying like, yeah, sometimes like people get a little bit afraid to bring up like maybe a problematic woman, but I do want to say that I think the majority are men. I think that's like, and I don't have the statistics. If somebody wants to go into the comments and tell me what it really is, more older men probably prey on younger girls than older women prey on younger men.
Absolutely, yes. Let's make that. You're right. Let's make that real clear. Ooh, ooh. Hold on. I'm having revelations, and I will say I feel like maybe I'm coming from a place of being on lesbian talk and being in like lesbian spaces. I wonder if it has something to do with like there being a level of masculinity in sapphic relationships because I've seen older masked lesbians and I hate to talk about the community because I really don't need to talk down on my own people, but I do want to be a little bit critical because I do see it where it's like, older, yeah, I got me a little young one, or like, oh, she's a little bit younger than me, and like, it's cool. Hey, no, it's still not cool.
Just as bad, just as bad.
No, I'm really getting like flashbacks because I've distanced myself a little bit from like obviously the lesbian community, but I have also seen it where it's like an older lesbian is like there's a power dynamic that they have in relationships with maybe younger women who are just figuring out that they're queer or just starting to come out and just starting to experiment with other women, and suddenly it's like, hey, I am mommy. Ah!
There's a reality show, I forget the name of it, but it's like about they go to therapy, like couples therapy, and you get to see their
Whoa.
sessions for a couple of weeks. Yeah. And there
Hey,
was
send
a
me the link.
lesbian couple. I will. There was a lesbian couple who there was a masculine partner, and they were having issues because she was cheating often with younger girls that weren't even really out as lesbian, even though her partner was 100% and has been for years out as a lesbian woman. That's so, I don't know, that sparked something in me. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. Cause
Yeah.
no, cause you say lesbians, but I don't want to talk shit about some of my besties, but gay men too.
Oh,
That's a
oh,
thing.
it
That's the
is a thing.
thing. And I'm not a man, nor am I a gay man, so I really can't talk on it. But I do have friends who are their age gaps are a lot larger than maybe some of my cis or even lesbian friends. I'm only pansexual, so I can't really jump any hoops here. But
No, girl, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because since coming out, and obviously being a guy, the amount of older men who have pursued me, and honestly, even the whole concept of a twink and that being like such a thing for some people, hey, a little spooky ooky. One of my older cousins has a thing for older men, like married an older guy. He was accepted into the family. I think most people kind of like side eye a little bit, but we really like the older guy.
what's the age gap?
Maybe 25 years, 35? No, maybe even 30. I'm not gonna lie, I feel kind of bad because I'm like, he RIP'd, so I feel bad speaking of the dead. But
That is so weird
yikes.
because I was gonna talk about one of my family members, but they also RIP'd, so I was
They
like, I'm not gonna put them in
RIP'd.
the
No, they are.
conversation.
Yeah, his partner, my cousin, love you. If you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, babe. Love you. But his partner was, I want to say 30 years older than him. And I remember.
Don't speak ill of the dead.
No, no, no. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I really liked him. I really liked him. RIP. Think about you all the time. Great memories with you. He was a really cool guy. But it was a thing. Like the partner's family had a problem with the fact that he was dating somebody so much younger. But on my side of the family, like being on the younger guy's side of things, we were just kind of like, hey, if it floats his boat. But also, my cousin was taken care of, not gonna lie. But I think maybe that's it. It's the taken care of aspect.
I guess it's all about intention and how old you are. Like, if this person was 30 and they were dating a 60-year-old, yeah, it's skeevy, but I guess they're 30, so that kind of goes back to the show. Like, yeah, she's
Mm,
27, but like she is 27. I don't, it's intention. I think it's
ah,
all intention. And from certain perspectives, it can be gross, but like there are, I don't, because I'm thinking like, think about this. Like, you said that person passed away, right? I'm sure it was something. I don't want to get into it. We don't have to talk about their circumstances, but like, what if their person, the younger person, was young enough and lively enough to be able to take care of someone on their last days? You know what I mean? Like, how could that be gross? How could that be weird? That's kind of beautiful. And ugh, I hate this. What is my
mm.
opinion? I think it's all
I
opinions.
know, dude. That's what I'm saying. This topic has it's just put me in a world in like a.
Who am I to say anything about anybody's relationship as long as they're all consenting adults, you know?
I'm also talking ill about gay people, but I do have different standards for cis people than I do for gay people, and I gotta make that really clear. Maybe that's a cancelable take, but I do think when it comes to queer love in any form, I do give a little bit more grace. We already got a lot going on. Do I think that a lot of us need therapy? Yes. Do I think the twink old guy dynamic sometimes freaks me out a little bit? Absolutely. And that applies to the lesbians as well. Love you, lesbians. But when it comes to cishet people, because cishet relationships are so traditional and already have such a strong standard of what they should look like, and men have been wanting to control women from the very, very start, when I see an older guy with a younger woman, I can't help but be like, hey, you're a fucking freak. But I don't have that when it comes to queer love. Am I still a little like, ooh, side eye? Yes. But I think when a man pursues a woman 9 times out of 10, he's not thinking love is love. He's not thinking love is love, and it's not coming from this like pure wanting to love someone, wanting to like really help and build them. And again, 9 times out of 10, maybe there is a one out there. Maybe. But that's where the difference is for me.
So I 100% agree with you that there is a difference. I also give grace to the gay community because when we're talking about like cis relationships, right? We're talking about a dynamic that they were born basically into. You know what I mean? If you're straight, you kind of know the play. You're kind of all on the same trajectory when it comes to dating. But when it comes to the gay community, and I'm only talking like I'm speaking from my perspective, like when I found out that I was attracted to women and then I re-found out that I was attracted to men and then I found out I was just attracted to people in general. Like those are really different stages of life. And those sometimes do mix in with different age groups. So if you have an older person who is just finding out that they are gay, or they're coming to that realization, or they're bringing it into their lifestyle for the first time, that is the difference. And that's how they could connect with maybe a 30-year-old, completely changing the dynamics of what a relationship actually is for you moving on. So that's just like I'm with you on that with everything you said, but also including this.
No, I think I really think my opinion boils down to how equitable is this relationship? How who's where? You know, who's getting what out of this? Who's really benefiting from the dynamic? I think that's where it gets a little messed up.
I agree 100% because it is like if there is a 27-year-old dating a 60-year-old and they go into the situation where the guy's like, "Hey, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to do this for you." And she goes, "That's what I want in a relationship." And that's what she's going to do. And there's nothing wrong with setting that boundary together. But if the 27-year-old is going in this with a genuine feeling of like she's going to control as much and he's going in saying I'm going to control you, then it's creepy, then it's weird. There's no way that you could build off of it. There's no way you can fight it because at the end of the day, when it comes to relationships that are not quote unquote normal, you are fighting something. Like love is hard already,
Mm,
you got to fight for that every single day, and now you have
damn,
to
girl.
add either the age or
It's get
whatever it is.
crazy.
that
No, dude,
that
you ate
Oy,
with that. Yeah, you did. That's crazy.
thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
So my sperm donor and the lady that he's married to, they have a daughter together. So I
Oh,
technically have a stepsister.
ah,
And first of all, none
T.
of this is her fault. None of this is her fault.
No,
She
she's just a
got she
product.
got Yeah, she's just a
of the
product of
situation, of the
this
circumstances.
situation. In my knowledge, she's happy and she was loved and she got a beautiful life. So the product of this age gap was her. And I always think about that because I'm like, yes, they are like 20 something years apart. They did get married, and while they both suck booty hole, they didn't suck booty hole to her. So the age
I
gap
see.
affected my family, but did the age gap affect her family?
That's where our own biases get in the way. I could see why, from her perspective, it would be somewhat normal or it would be normalized. But I also feel like these are the kids that grow up and eventually are like, hey, that was actually weird. And this happens a lot in like Latino families where it's like, yeah, I was 15 and he was 30 when I met him, but he was my Prince Charming. And it's a lot. We don't have to get into all that. But I actually do know someone, like one of my aunts. I think she was 13 and he was 20. And they've been married for a long time, not happily. T. No, and here's the thing, they normalized it. And now, like, we're all kind of like, hey, yeah, actually, that was kind of weird. But their daughter, so my cousin, or I don't know if she dates older guys, but she's been interested in older guys. So I'm like, maybe it is a thing of like, yeah, this is totally cool and this is totally fine.
That one's just too illegal. Like that should never be normalized.
No, 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 yes, 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 yes. Let's not normalize this. Sorry, let me clarify. Let's not normalize that, but we are here to speak the truth. This was Venezuela in the 80s. We're not saying do that right now, obviously. And I think as a society, we're starting to move away from it and understanding that like, this is not normal behavior. But illegal is illegal. Jail is jail. So don't get no funny ideas. Don't think we're being haters.
No, everyone should agree that that's illegal. Okay, done. Yeah, that's not an opinion.
No, yes, that is illegal. If you find 27 and 60 to be completely cool and you want to talk about it, let me know in the comments or make your own podcast. But me over here, I'm a hater.
For me, it's circumstantial. I'm gonna read your comment and I want to know your story. So if you do have a situation like this, or your parents are, you're in a very happy family and your parents are happily in love and all that, like I want to hear it. I want to understand because that's the point of this entire podcast. Is no echo chambers. These are our opinions, and as you can see, we are very open to changing our opinions because from the beginning
Yeah.
to now, uh, I don't even know where I stand
Yeah.
completely, but I think it is situational. So if you do have a different opinion,
Like Miss Mackie said, let us know what you think. Let us know your experience. If you have any crazy stories, please let us know. And as always, as per usual, did we close the gap? Did we? Did we not? Peace and love. See you next week. Bye.
I know you're already subscribing. I see it. I already know.